Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle one of the biggest, most confusing parts of English, the tense system. If you've ever just felt totally overwhelmed by all those grammar charts, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to forget about memorization and actually build the entire system from just two simple concepts.
So let's kick things off with what seems like a simple question. How many tenses are there? If you've ever asked this, the answers you get are kind of all over the map. You could ask 3 different teachers, and honestly, you'll probably get 3 different answers.
You might hear the number 16 thrown around. This usually pops up when all the different conditional forms get lumped into the count. It's a lot, right?
And then, of course, there's the more common answer, 12. This is the standard you find in most textbooks. It covers all the basics across past, present, and future. This is probably the number you were told to memorize in school.
But here's the thing. What if I told you that all of those tenses, all 12 or 16 of them, are really just built from 2 core ideas? That's what we're going to unlock today. We're done with memorizing. It's time to actually understand the system. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about that feeling of being completely overwhelmed. It's so common, and it's because we're just expected to learn this massive number of rules. You see these charts with a dozen boxes, and your brain just kind of wants to give up. Trying to memorize each tense as its own separate rule is like trying to navigate a huge city by memorizing every single street name. It's not going to work. The real key is to understand the grid system, the logic that connects everything together. So let's get right to the heart of it. Every single tense in English is made from just 2 fundamental building blocks. And once you get these 2, you can build any tense you need, exactly when you need it. All right, building block number 1 is time. And this one, thankfully, is pretty straightforward. It's the anchor. It just places the action on a timeline for us. Did it happen in the past? Is it happening in the present? Or will it happen in the future? Simple. And then we have our second building block, aspect. Now this is the real game changer. Aspect doesn't tell us when something happens, but how the speaker sees it. Is it a single finished event, an ongoing process, or maybe a completed action that still matters right now? This is where all the subtle meaning comes from. And the entire system works just like this. You pick one option from the time column, say past, and you combine it with an option from the aspect column, like simple, and boom, you've just made a tense. Past simple. It really is that logical. Okay, so let's see how this actually works in the real world, because understanding aspect is what really takes your English from just being okay to being incredibly precise. We'll look at a couple of classic examples where aspect changes everything. Think about this in a work situation. If you tell your boss, "I've sent the email," you're using the perfect aspect, and that signals that this action has relevance right now. It basically means it's done and now it's your turn to act. But if you say, "I sent the email yesterday," using the simple aspect, it's just a fact from the past. It's history, totally disconnected from this moment. And we see the exact same thing here. The board meets quarterly. That uses the simple aspect to state a permanent fact, a routine. But "we are currently negotiating" uses the continuous aspect. It highlights a temporary situation, something happening right now, but it also suggests that it won't go on forever. So why does all this matter? Well, because in high-stakes situations, think business, law, or academics, this kind of precision is power. It can be the difference between being perfectly clear and being dangerously misunderstood. I mean, the way you use a tense can have huge real-world consequences. Think about a legal document or a financial report. The tiny difference between "we reviewed the documents" and "we have been reviewing the documents" could be the difference between a finished task and an ongoing investigation. And that has massive implications. Just look at this sentence. The choice of past perfect continuous here is totally strategic. It's not just saying that they offered terms. No, it's emphasizing the duration of that offer, that it was happening over a period of time before this other key event happened. It frames their actions as being proactive. And when you really get this, you get a serious strategic advantage. In a negotiation, you can use the past perfect to lock in a timeline of events. In a report, the continuous aspect can clarify what's still in progress, and when you're forecasting, the future perfect can set crystal clear expectations for what will be done by a certain deadline. So let's pull all of this together. Once you start seeing the tense system as this simple combination of time plus aspect, all that complexity just melts away. And what you're left with is a clear, logical structure that you can use in any situation.
This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? Take a look at present continuous. We are holding a press conference. The time is present, the aspect is an ongoing process. Simple. Or the past perfect. The firm had signed the contract before the crisis. The time is in the past, and the aspect shows it's a completed action that happened before another past event. See? Every single tense is just a logical mix of our two building blocks.
So here's the bottom line. The big takeaway here is to stop treating English tenses like a long list of rules you have to memorize. That is the road to frustration. Instead, think of it as a simple system, a toolkit with two parts that lets you build precise meaning.
So the next time you're writing an important email or getting ready for a big presentation, just pause for a second. Look at the verbs you've chosen and ask yourself, what is my tense really saying? Am I just stating a fact from the past, or am I trying to show this matters right now? Making that choice on purpose, well, that's the real secret to mastering English tenses.